have to go with university, so they will do background
Don't worry
check for me.
about it when it happens. Just be more in the moment with it. Open up all the possibilities, and
That's
you
good.
know, don't close the doors. Open them.
Yeah, maybe I will. Thank you very much because
Because maybe the
this
job you're in
idea
now,
I didn't have.
Right.
maybe the job you're in now is a stepping stone to the bigger opportunity at the university.
And yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
it just, your mind all of a sudden, this karma, what I call, this, higher power, whatever.
Yeah.
Just the job you're in now is just the stone to the next job.
Yeah, I found
I
that
don't know, maybe.
that happens when I'm working.
Sometimes.
Like when I'm vacationing, when I'm not working, which I love, not doing anything, then work doesn't really come to me. And the work that comes to me I don't really want, and I get very picky, and then good work comes in. So then I start working, and then when I start working, more work comes in, and it's usually good work. So when you're telling the universe, yes, I want to work, it will usually give you more work. So yeah, the university may have opened up because you started working at this other job, because you started showing the universe that's what you want. There's another piece in there, but I forgot what it was. Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
I'm wondering if we're going to meditate, and then maybe we could talk about it again. See what
Yeah,
happens.
we can always do that. But there was another piece, but I can't remember.
I wanted to ask also about surrendering because I don't understand it very clear.
Yeah.
Surrendering means what happens to surrender? So what happens? Or I still have my wishes, which sometimes not happen, and I have to surrender that it didn't happen, and then I have to make certain choice.
Yeah. So the thing with surrender, it's kind of like a river, drop of water merges with a river, and then the river merges with the ocean. There's no more individuality. It's the same thing with surrender. It's like we're taught that we need to surrender in order to have everything that we want. I've heard this. It's like
Yes,
like-
let go and
yeah, like
kind of surrender.
when I was first in the spiritual path, and I had just been taught to meditate, and I saw my guru for the first time, and I bought a button of him with his picture in it, and I came back to the meetings we were having in Boston, and I was wearing my button. This one girl grabbed the button, took it off my lapel, and very seductively said to me, she said, "You're not attached, are you?" Like, attachment in the spiritual world is a bad thing to have. So she stole my button with this line of like, you don't want to seem like she was a thief. But she used this and it's the same thing. It's like we're taught that spirituality is a certain thing, that we have to approach a certain way, and that we have to have certain results and certain experiences, and it's all a lie. That happens to be that particular person's experience. So we come to believe that, surrender is the way to realization, right? So then what we really want is realization, which is a concept, right? So
Situations in my life when I want something and I cannot get it. Do I have to surrender and say, okay, then let go, don't want anything, go away from me and close the door?
yeah.
Is it a surrendering? Or I am telling, okay, let it be like this. I am
What
struggling with
what
my
you're really
best
saying
time.
is that you want this thing.
Yes.
What you're really telling me is, I really want this thing, and I'd like to know how to get it. Can you teach me to do that? Okay?
Do I surrender or not?
Yeah, right. It's like, which one will get it for me? So this is very much how spirituality is for a lot of people. It's a veneer of something spiritual, which they're really after is a materialism, is a material thing. This is very much what's going on in the New Age as well. So the answer is, spirituality is not a material thing. It will not get you anything material. It's not what it's for. In fact, I think in the Bible it says something, too bad for the person that lost his soul, gained the whole world but lost his soul, right? Because gaining the whole world, because we're seeing a series, right, from the Ottoman Empire. It's kind of entertaining. Like Alexander the Great, he got most of the world, but he got it at the end. He said, have them cut my hands off and say, here's Alexander the Great. He came here with nothing. He leaves here with nothing. That this is why they call it illusion. All the stuff that you want, why do you want it? Because you think it will make you happy. Because your mind is telling you, if you could just have this thing, you would be happy. This is a piece that's missing for you. But what would really make you happy is to not have your mind bugging you all the time with what to do in order to be happy, because you're already happy and it's robbing you of that happiness, And that's what spiritual realization is. Spiritual realization is realizing that you're complete already, and how beautiful that is, and to experience it, So, no, trying to accomplish any one thing is a waste of time.
And even I feel that, okay, if I get it now from another person, will I really be happy? I even don't want this. I'm not ready to go the distance. I was thinking, where is the wrong thing here?
Well, explain a little more about this, if you get it from another person and you're not. Tell us a little more what you...
No, I was thinking if I cannot get married with this person, I have to turn my face away.
Well, I think you're a lovely, lovely gal. And I think that you have a lot of good intentions and love and strength in your side of you. And you should, I feel you're allowing too much outside circumstances to affect you.
Okay, but you're telling her, that's not the question. The question is, how do you feel? When you're sitting here listening, how do you feel? Okay, I'll give you an example.
I feel overwhelmed.
I feel, yes.
I feel overwhelmed. I don't want to say it.
My head, yes, you don't want to say it. Wait, just wait. Okay, so what happens to me is that I really like you, okay? And we've done these walks and talks. And I really want to fix it for you, because that's the way that I am. But it's like I also want to run, because it's like my head is starting to explode, and you're back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I'm trying to be there with you, Struggle, it looks different. Everybody looks different.
I have a sense, which is the concept of disempowerment is when we take our power, which is basically our choice, our well-being, our joie de vivre, and we place it on an external object or person, usually. And then we devote ourselves to that thing in order to get that feeling back. And I think that realizing that it's something that's ours to begin with, and that it's our choice to share, because what happens is then we become attached to the object of our affection, and then when it's unrequited love, when it doesn't love us back, then we feel destroyed, and this is all something we've created. It's our love, it's our heart, our feelings, but we've projected it out somewhere else. We haven't seen it inside of ourselves. But it's like, I'm very good at criticizing other people. I'm very bad at criticizing myself, I can easily see the problem with you, but I have a much harder time seeing the problem with me. Well, it's the same thing in reverse. It's like, it's much easier for you to see the beauty elsewhere that would make you happy than it is for you to see it inside yourself, So they're both disempowerment. For me to look outside myself and judge others is disempowerment, because I'm wasting energy I could use in self-transformation or, self cognition, and I'm wasting it on you or anybody else, you know? So it works in reverse for seeing the beauty outside of yourself and thinking that having that thing from that person will make you complete, that you're missing something that you need from outside there. So mindfulness or meditation is a way to get in touch with that, you know, to really experience it. You know, the reason I'm disappointed when I don't connect with it so much for the whole week is because I'm missing out on a gift that is inside of me, you know, which is actually, it isn't even inside of me, it is me. You know, it's like the reason I experience it inside of me is because I'm the phenomena that it's passing through, you know. So when I just take the time to be with it, it feels good, you know. So there's no strategy for getting anywhere outside yourself which is actually helpful in any way, because none of those things will render you what you're after, which is yourself. You know, I've had times in my life when I had a lot of money, like when I sold my house, and I was the most miserable because my ego was running the show, you know, and I was disconnected from myself and others, looking for that connection, not finding it. It's not out there, it's in here, you know. So a life, most people waste their lives. You know, you see these very powerful people like Trump and Hillary, they're totally out to lunch. You know, they're not sourcing themselves for that beauty, you know. And they're the ones in charge of the world. No wonder we're having to like do something to see through it.
The interesting thing that in the morning when I'm practicing, I find for a few minutes or whatever happens, I find it. And then as alarm rings, I jump right into my mind back, and the rest of the day and the night I live with my mind and doing things out of my mind instead of like...
But just that recognition, just what you said now, just the fact that even for a few minutes or even one instant you experience it is incredibly freeing, because you know the truth, you know. So now the job is to simply value it. It's just that you experience it and you relate it, but what society is telling you is that that's what's valuable, that's what's going to give you what you want. So it's when you value what you already are and what you already have that you become self-empowered. It's, you know, that's what self-empowerment is what you come to value. It's what you come to value that makes you strong in a relationship, you know, that you can say, no, this is right and this is wrong. This is what I should have and this is what I shouldn't have. This I want and this I don't want. It's very, very difficult to have your arm twisted when you say no. You know.
I just started to say no. Before I was always surrendering, but I looked miserable for myself because I do something that the person wants, but I don't want this. I want different. And when I say I'm not heard, I'm not heard. The person is not hearing what I'm saying.
I'm not heard. Yes.
Yeah, doesn't want to do this.
Not being heard. Yeah.
I just started to make my choices from being with myself, and I feel doesn't make me feel good. What is going on?
Yeah. I think it's so important. You know, it's so important to realize that there are forces at work in our lives when we try to please other people, usually our parents, and that we have displeased ourselves. And it's like now we have to parent ourselves and realize how important we are, you know, how much we have to listen to our own choices, you know.